You're welcome to Good Morning Anambra. Today is a special day, and of course it's Global Toilet Day, World Toilet Day. And according to the United Nations, this essential space at the center of our lives should be safe and secure. But for billions of people, sanitation is under threat from conflict, climate change, disasters, and neglect. And this morning in the studios of Good Morning Anambra, we have some special guests with us that will talk about World Toilet Day. And of course, we brought it closer, closing the gap in access to toilets in our communities. The guests in the studios are Sanitarian Theresa Mwakego Mofo, a staff of Anambra State Rusawa Ministry of Environment. Good to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, we also have Ugochi Freeman. She is a development consultant. She is the Executive Director, Creative Minds Center for Youth and Community Development, and a member of network of NGOs in water and sanitation. You're welcome to the studios, Ugochi.
Thank you.
The two of you are wearing green. Is there anything, is this symbolic
coincidental.
the days you're celebrating? Please let us know.
We didn't plan it.
You didn't plan
Yes.
it?
We didn't.
What a coincidence.
It shows that toilet is life. There's a linkage.
We are talking
Yes.
about green environment.
Yes.
Yes, so
All right.
didn't actually plan it.
Ugochi, let me start with you. I think both of you are, you work with NGOs. What's your assessment? How would you assess the situation of toilets in our communities? That's how accessible the people have with toilets in our various communities in Anambra State.
All right. Accessibility of toilets in our communities. In Anambra State, we don't actually have much problem about the physical toilet structures. The only gap we have is in few public places. So what we have, the problem we have there is the behavioral change, how to manage excreta, sheets, how to manage NC effectively so that it will not enter into our stomach. So in Anambra State, almost every household has toilet. If you go to some houses, they have multiple toilets inside. Modern houses now, you can find out that a house can have up to 5 toilets inside, rooms having toilet, parlor having toilet for visitors. And then in communities in rural areas as well, they built multiple toilets for places where you have public compounds.
Okay.
Where there are still some, you have one that is not, that will not be enough for the occupants of that building. So basically what we lack in Anambra State is behavioral change. And then I think people are coming in terms with sanitation marketing. Sanitation marketing is having toilets in public places, personal, private, using it to make money. Okay. Sheet business is money business, it's a money-making ventures for those that understand what it is all about. So for public places, few public places, that's where we have challenges. And most especially in schools. When we are doing open defecation, one UNICEF was here until now about in our work in ensuring that communities we worked in open defecation free. Okay. Where we have those challenges mostly are in schools. Okay. Public schools.
You know, personally, I'm interested in today's celebration because there was a time I handled a program on radio in Onitsha, and I got so many calls about there were these public toilets built in some strategic places in Onitsha, and some people called into the program to say how much that are being collected from individuals when you want to have access to use the toilet. And of course, somebody called that told me that they had a private, toilet where they manage and they take money from people, and the reason they take those money. Now, let me come to you, my sister. I don't know whether what we have on ground is enough for the growing population in Anambra State. Sanitarian Theresa.
Yeah, thank you very much. But before I say something, I want to correct one impression here.
Okay.
You said both of us work with NGO.
Okay.
And I want to tell you that I represent
Anambra State. Okay. Thank you very much.
Sanitation.
Thank you.
Then I'm there. I'm also representing the Ministry of Environment.
Okay.
That's my parent ministry. So you can see.
Okay, you're welcome.
So from what you said, the question you asked, yes, Anambra State has many private and public toilets in strategic places like parks, like markets. If you go to Onitsha, the main market you have, even at Piweka, we have some that is owned by private individuals. Then some are owned by government. Okay. Yes. And people are managing it. People are managing it. People are making sure that that place is kept neat. So that's why they are collecting that little token. Yes. And the token is to maintain it so that the toilet, as our top team is, the toilet is a place for peace. If it's not neat, definitely it will not be a place of peace for you because you will not relax to
use it.
Yes. So that's why even in Oka, though it's not enough, we have...
That's what I wanted to,
it's not enough. We have a budget, we have written memo to governor, which I know that when governor of Anambra State sees it, definitely we will do something because that's very important thing. In Ruwasa is always targeting on getting Anambra State an open defecation-free state.
Okay.
So that's the essence of the memo we put up to governor, that many places, schools, private schools, even churches, there's no government that will do churches. We also write to churches that they need to put toilet facilities, wash facilities entirely. When you talk of wash facilities, you're talking of water, you're talking of toilets, and you're talking of hand washing facilities, all this. So the memo, if governor honors it, will help us to build more, even in the villages, because that's where you're getting more. Okay. Here in Oka, like that park there, beside the people, I believe they don't have public toilets.
They built something newly there, so it should be under consideration, you know, while they're building it.
So that's it. So many other places that we need to
build more facilities like that.
More facilities that will help people to maintain good sanitation when it comes to open.
All right. Now, this is a beautiful topic and a beautiful day to talk about it. When you travel to, most developed countries, and when you step into the airports of most countries, you see like a lot of toilets. You don't need to queue to use the facility in most developed countries. And I've been privileged, that you'll be passing, you see a mall, when you get into the mall, multiple toilets, it's in their 10s, 20s, But unlike our society today, when you go to some malls, you see highest 2 toilets, one for male, the other for female, Do you think we can replicate what we have in developed countries when it comes to toilet facilities? Ugochi?
Yes, we can replicate that. In fact, that is what Anambra State is preaching for toilets in public places, that every public place should have toilets. And more than one, depending on the number of persons that come to the public place. You have for female, you have for male. I have the percentage, the number designated for a particular toilet. So we can replicate some in Anambra State, the same here. Of course, if you go to our airport, just like you said, we have toilets. Yeah. Yes. But the other day I was coming back, I was actually pressed, we queued up. Just that they were not in the same place. So I was waiting, I was pressed. Then one of them now had to direct me to another session. That one was free, and I had to go there. So we need such, especially where we have much traffic, and then in our shopping malls as well. So that is what Anambra State should look into. The sanitation policy.
You know this question I ask you, I've seen places where they built shops
without toilets.
That's what I'm going. So somebody that was in a keke, and somebody was saying in that keke that when you're pressed, you have to take transport to your house to go and use the toilet before coming back to the shop. I was like, how can an individual build a shop, line up with not just one shop? You will not put even a toilet in the line-up shop. That's an error. I was coming to that. So the sanitation policy of Anambra State needs to speak to that. You see landlords building shops, no toilet, even if it's one. As long as somebody comes from his or her house, even the person that does the business, should have a place of convenience. But here you find that a lot of shops without toilets. So it should be a crime. There should be penalty for that. Because we ask those people, especially...
In sense, there are penalties.
Okay, let's talk about it. Because some people may not even know.
We have sanitarians, that's environmental health officers.
Okay.
They are saddled with the responsibility of enforcing the law, public health law of Anambra State.
Okay.
And in that law, there's no way you have a business premises without putting first sanitary convenience. In fact, it's one of the standard criteria of setting any public place. Even filling stations, you must have public toilets. That is the system.
Yeah, somebody might just drive in to buy fuel and the person is pressed.
It's left for us, the sanitarians, to move into action, do inspection, serve those people who don't have this kind of facilities, papers. Then, if they don't want to comply, you sue them to court.
And let's talk more about it, because you coming from government side, one thing is law being in place. Another thing is, implementation. You see where people build schools in Anambra State. We've talked about that over time, that education ministries will go for inspection, and at the end of the day, nothing is done. And I remember when growing up, sanitation people go to families. I remember one day my grandmother was quarreling with them why they say she should not urinate at the back of her house. Let them follow her now. Let's her go and do it. She'll see what they will do. So they're just following. So that time we were small, and these people, they check so many things. They tell you what to do, how to go about it. Now, do you think the present administration that you work under is working hard towards ensuring that our people have these facilities, and the way it should be, or let's say the global best practices, since this is a global celebration?
Yes, Anambra State government, they are trying.
Okay.
Yes, because if not that Anambra State employed some sanitarians in the state, this will not be, these explanations and publications or sensitization rather will not get to people.
Okay.
But the problem is, I always say it, we have limited number of environmental health officers that are supposed to go around the state to implement, make sure that every household, every building, every public places, especially those ones that are not government owned, should have toilet facilities. We normally go for this. Even today, we still see environmental health officers going from one place to the other. But most times, for them to take actions will not be possible because of funding.
Funding.
You want to see people, but you need money to go about it. And because of there is no fund, they will end up not following it up. You will see the cases whereby people bring complaints. Like
to the office.
One complaint they brought to the office that people are, he had channeled their sewage into the public
A lot of them.
Space.
Okay. They were just, as you are washing in your home, the thing is everywhere now. Especially in the cities. Oka here.
Okay.
If you go anywhere
inside Oka,
it's everywhere. People channel raw sheets in the gutter. You see them. In Abonicha is like that. Even in the night, they use pump to discharge their septic tank into the public drain. These are the things we see. But anyone that is from people that brought a complaint like that, we follow it up because the person that brought the complaint will be willing to sponsor the court issue. And I want to tell you that we've never lost them. We succeeded because we had support financially. So we succeeded in rectifying those ones.
You know, what you said now, comes to agreement with what the United Nations are saying, that this safe place in our lives should be safe and secure. That's the toilet. But for billions of people, sanitation is under threat from conflict, climate change, disasters, and neglect. And we are not under war in this part of the world. Why do you think this is happening? What she said, why do you think it's happening? That people should channel their shades into the open space and nothing is being done about it?
Just like she's rightly said, I think they are understaffed. Okay. That's number one. Number two, people are living like, I don't know whether should I say like animals. You made mention of the sanitary, that's what we call them then. The fear of the sanitary was the beginning of wisdom. You see them in a helter skelter to make sure that your places, your living environment is neat. Total environment is neat. Total sanitation. Okay? But now it's not the same. Look at what she complained. It is there, here in Oka, channeling their sewage to the gutter. Water from that they bathe with to the gutter, from the kitchen to the gutter, and you pass and it smells even in dry season, and nothing is happening. To me, I think the government needs to do more, especially those sanitary officers. Yes, they should take it as their own. They can make a lot of money from there. By enforcing all these penalties, they will make a lot of money, and they have that money to run. You find out that they will generate a lot of money, but don't even need the money of those people that are reporting those cases. They need to move out to the field and discover those people and sue them. It's all over everywhere. It is not hidden. It's something you see. Okay, so they should be proactive. It's not about waiting for people to come and report. Move around, move to the field. Okay. If nobody invites them, they should move to the field. Okay,
and that brings us to what is actually going on presently with this administration. And that, I think, it's happening in Onitsha currently as we speak. But I don't know, maybe you take the message down to the government, what is going on, that people are being caught when you urinate in the bushes in Onitsha or along the road. There are people that moves around with vehicles. I had it in Onitsha, and they said you pay huge money. There's an amount they called for you to be free to move again. They will just catch you and put you inside their vehicles. But there is something I want to bring up here. Okay. When some of us that comes to work very early, sometimes we'll be using that express and you see some people, men, in their numbers, defecating inside the gutters. And again, when you travel, when you walk or you want to use a leg to cross some areas, the kind of odors that you perceive on a daily basis is nothing to write home about. Now, as a government worker, what do you think should be done in this regard?
Yeah, thank you. Just as we said earlier, people should make use of facilities available. Our people is finding it difficult to pay a little to go.
Yeah.
What is 15 naira for you to buy inside?
But are we supposed to pay in the first place? Because I've never paid in developed countries when you use their facilities. Okay. I've never. So what's the difference?
What is what
somebody's paying for it
to that level? Yes. The government is really struggling seriously. Not just. It's not just for
let's hope so.
Yeah, the government is trying in all the areas that they're supposed to put their eyes on. But this issue of people we are not Americans. We are in Africa.
We are better than Americans.
Yes, and we are moving towards getting there. But with what we have, let's make use of it for now until we get to the city that our government is dreaming.
But we should not forget that most of the people that are in need of these facilities, especially those guys that that pushes the barrow in the market. Some of them,
money.
No, I'm not speaking for them, but some of them may not be, willing to give you a dime, 100 naira, 200 naira to go to toilets. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's what they should be
most
taught.
of them sleep under the bridges and what have you. So anything to be done for such people, because people that use this public toilet, most of them are all these beggars on the street, the people that run some errands. What are we doing in that regard?
Maybe I will not be able to
speak for them.
Speak for that, because I know that for you to maintain that toilet, somebody is there washing the toilet as they go. Government has gone around digging borehole water everywhere. What is remaining is for them to also put toilets in static places to match the water usage. With that, they can say, okay, for the poorest people, please don't collect money. Can allow them use
the
toilets. When you look at somebody that can afford, still allow the person to use. By government employing those people working there, it will be their duty to stay there. The government employs them to be there to man those toilets. But as long as you still give it out to contractors to control,
because that's another area.
Yes, if you give it someone, go and control this thing and get the revenue for government. If you do that, the person will try to get the revenue from people, so that the person will be able to maintain. Because if anything happens to the sumo, the contractor is to repair it. If the toilet is not destroyed, it's the person that will repay it. So the person needs money to run it. But if government will maybe tomorrow decide, okay, we want to employ, which I know that it's not too big for Anambra State government, it's just that their mind might not have reached to that level. Say, okay, this very particular area, any people that is using it, you have staff of the government there. Government sees to the maintenance and everything.
All right. Ugochi, the crux of the matter for today's celebration says a place for peace, that is the toilet. And for it to be a place of peace, it needs to be secure, it needs to be clean for it to be called a place for peace. Now, how best or how do we clean this toilet? How do we, in terms of sanitation, how do we keep it clean for it to really be a place of peace for users?
All right. Toilet actually is a place of peace. I remember in those days, if you want to dodge from work, toilet, they'll be calling you, where are you? I'm in the toilet, but they're not using. And then sometimes you want to read. Those chairs then, and you don't want to disturb, enter inside the toilet to go and read. Okay? So if the toilet is not neat, it cannot be a place where you actually go and rest or look for a place to go and hide if it's dirty. So it should be kept neat. It should be washed with detergent, with disinfectant, and then there should be hand washing facility, just like she said. And why should there be a hand washing facility? So that once you defecate, most times when you poo and you're cleaning your bum, you find out that sometimes even the tissue breaks and the physics touches your hand. So there is need for you to do what? Wash your hand with soap and water, under running water, to ensure that you don't ingest your physics. So that is why the toilet needs to be clean. It needs to be clean. It needs to have hand washing facility with water, hand washing, clean running water under it, and it should be replicated in public places. And just like she said, you are asking whether they should pay. Yes, they should pay for that place to be a place of peace. So somebody must pay for it. If it's free, it means that somebody somewhere is paying for that service.
Okay.
So if nobody is paying for that service, you should pay that. For me, if I'm in a public place and I'm pressed, I think, is there any bank around me? Is there any hotel around me? Is there any filling station? Not every filling station, because there are some you enter, they are not neat. Okay?
They are not a place.
So look for a hotel close to you. Yeah. Look for bank close to you. And of course, market. Markets have toilets and it's being maintained. A Kokaya have multiple toilets and it's being maintained. In Unizik Junction here, in Unizik Junction here, you have public toilets. And I've used this several, and it's neat and it's clean, maintained. Okay. They wash it and make sure there is water. In Enugu market, there's a public toilet. In fact, when I visited that place, I met the woman managing it. She uses, she said it's her, she sees this as her own. Okay? She maintains this, keeps it neat, and the slippers you used to come, you will not wear it inside. Okay. She has another clean slip-on that you wear to enter. So she manages it very well. And it's a market, in Enugu market here, in in Amobia. In Amobia.
Okay, you've been on inspection tour to these places. Not inspection.
If I'm pressed, if I want to win, I'm in the market. I look for, I ask. Okay. And they are there. But most people don't know. So if all these things are being provided and you see people that are violating it, they should pay. They should be penalized and they should pay heavily for it. Because if they know the type of diseases that we get from defecating in the open, you charge them more. Okay. The ingesting shit has killed a lot of people. There are many sicknesses that people are passing through that they don't know. The origin is from that open defecation. So if they are being penalized and they are charged heavily, charge them heavily, they should pay.
All right, so I think Sanitarian should talk to us more about that now, and of course, when talking, you tell us more of the diseases that we get when we don't leave the place as a place of peace.
Okay. I want to add, in that toilet, a place of peace. When I saw it, I just laughed. Actually, toilet is a place of peace.
Of peace.
If you are pressed now, heat. If you are seriously pressed, you'll be uncomfortable.
Oh, very, very uncomfortable.
And if you don't use toilet, you will not feel comfortable. Yeah. So that's why
you will not have your peace.
You will have your peace when you are. So that is what I'm seeing as the topic. Okay. And you need to maintain it. The theme of this year's one. If you have a good sanitation facility, you get peace in your life. Peace in the sense that using the toilet will prevent most of these communicable diseases like cholera, typhoid. You know, when people are sick, you have these microorganisms inside your system, capable of causing another harm to another person if it gets into that host, another person's body. So, and you urinate, you shit, you flush all these things in the gutter. These microorganisms have a condition that favors them. They will multiply, grow in the environment. And when they multiply, flies, they are mechanical carriers. They will perch, carry it. If they don't even perch, maybe it got dry in the environment, some that is by air. When it breeze or motor passes, it sprays the air and you inhale. So something like tuberculosis, TB, yes, tuberculosis you inhale. It enters the system and starts development, whereby before you know it, signs and symptoms of TB. So the another means contamination of our underground water. Or surface water. You shit anyhow, you pour all your septic tank into the public drain, or you dig a hole, pour it like that without treatment. All these things goes to the body water. Of water. And most of us, we just collect the water untreated, you drink. So from that, you are getting these diseases as a result of open defecation. Because everybody, when people head the carriers, they have these microorganisms, pathogenic organisms, let me use that word.
And they are not suffering from any disease.
So when they do it like that, then spread infections anyhow and anywhere. That's why the WHO Anambra State, they have some surveillance officers that goes to collect samples of water from
to test.